So we talk about the second semester's content. That first course is graphic designing course. After graphic designing, we will learn about CorelDRAW, graphic designing course. Inside graphic designing course, you will learn about Photoshop. After Photoshop, you will learn about CorelDRAW and also in Pager or Illustrator. Then after the finishing of this first course in second semester, you will learn about these other courses. Let's talk about graphic designing. The short definition of graphic designing is creating and editing of visual elements like text, shapes, and images or photos. Then we'll learn about Photoshop. What is Photoshop? Photoshop is a powerful graphic designing software. There are many versions of Photoshop, but we will learn about the latest versions of Photoshop. These are the minimum requirements for a computer. It should contain 4 GB of RAM, Windows 10, processor 2 GHz, and also an SSD storage. User requirement: user should be patientful, and also user should be a creative person. For installation of Photoshop, it is easy to click on install. It will be automatically installed. How to open? Start and write Photoshop 2020. Click here. After a minute, Photoshop will be open to your computer. You can see from 1990 to 2021. These are the person that already involved in developing of Photoshop. This is a sample work of Photoshop. And also Photoshop is product of Adobe. Adobe is also a company that produce all graphic designing softwares. So Photoshop is now ready. I want to click in here. This is Photoshop. This is the welcome page. Welcome to Photoshop. The welcome page. Now you have the recent files. Any file that you have already worked on them recently. These are those files. You can see you can create these contents easily. So now I don't want to use the recent file. I want to create new file, or I want to open another file. Or if you want to close the welcome page, you can click on Photoshop logo. Click. Now you can see this is the Photoshop interface. This is the layout of Photoshop. So what is important in Photoshop layout? This is already done. Now let me to remove this all, or let me to create a new file. Photoshop interface. Photoshop interface. This is the most important. First you have toolbox. All graphic designing software have a toolbox. This is my toolbox. These are all the necessary tools. You can make it smaller, it bigger, and also you can make it smaller. You can also change the location of your toolbox. You can put it anywhere that you feel relaxed. You can put it here, you can put it anywhere you want. Even if you don't use this, you can close this. But that is important. Toolbox is important. Now I want to have toolbox again. I click on view and window. I click on below. You can see we have tools. Turn it on again. Now you have tools. I want to have toolbox all the time with myself. Every toolbox, example, move tool, contain options. These are options belongs to move tool. If I click on eraser, this is eraser. These options are belongs to eraser. So it means that every toolbox, every tool have its options. Options means the size, the color, and other extra options of the tool. So you know that text box is really important. We will learn all about toolbox first. Pale task number toolbox that's why. And toolbox will last for 1 week. After 1 week, inshallah, all the necessary options of toolbox will be finished. Next, you have menu. You have menu. These are menus: file, edit, image, and other things. Inside this menu you have group. Example, this is a open listen. These are group. This is called group. Inside the menu you have something called group. So group is like this. Click here, click, this is a group. This is a line, means that these are one group. These are another group. These are another group. Another group. And in file you can see these are one group. Click here, this is another group. Export, these are another groups. So you already know about group. Next, the third thing that you have in Photoshop is palette. These are palettes. You can see we have many palettes. You can move this. Now this is my palettes. I have one palette. This is one palette, and it contains other palettes. Example, color. You have another palette. The palette name is layer, which is really important. We will talk about layers. This is another palette. Properties. This is another palette. It means that Photoshop contains many important palettes. You can close the palettes that are not important. Example, color is not important, you can close it and only you can add the layers. This is also not important. Only example this is. If you want to hide it, you can hide. If you want to show, you can show. If you want to close, you can say panel option, or you can close the panel. Now we don't have any panel. If you want to reset everything, I want to reset all the panels. Click on window and click on workspace and click on reset essential panels. All the essentials will be again resetted. Next, you have the palettes. Also palette, something like this. So these are the four important components of Photoshop: toolbox, menu, and also palette. Photoshop is easy when you use the shortcut, because there are many commands. Example, I want to use this command, but when you click in here, it will take a lot of time to print the document, but just simply memorize the shortcut. In every option you have the shortcut. For N, Control N, Control O, Alt Control C, Alt Control Shift, close. Every command, this is command. Every command has its specific shortcut. Photoshop is full of shortcuts. You can click here, you can see we have many shortcuts. We have already many shortcuts. Control A, Control D, Shift, Control D, Shift, Control. These are the shortcuts. Always use shortcut in Photoshop is good when we are using shortcuts. So also you find the shortcuts. Then there is nothing in Photoshop. These are the most important component of a graphic designing software, which is Photoshop. Toolbox, which is the most important. Photoshop, inshallah, we will learn 1 week about Photoshop Toolbox. Then inshallah we will learn 2 weeks about the menus. Palettes are also really important. When we are learning menu, we will also learn about the palettes. Totally 3 weeks, and 1 week is for projects. Totally in 1 month, inshallah, we will complete the Photoshop. And at the last part, we will learn all about the important projects like designing a photo, designing banners, like designing certificates, and anything which is really important for you. Question? You can open a file in Photoshop. You can also open an image in Photoshop. When you click in here you have new. New means new file, blank page. Click on new. Now you define the size, the background color, orientation, and something else. These are the sizes that I used recently. I recently used these sizes. If you want to print something, click on print. These are sizes for printing, A4, A3, A5. When you want to design something for your mobile, you have option for mobile. These are pages for mobile. iPhone X, iPhone Ash, iPhone X, iPad Pro, iWatches, and a screen. If you want something for web, click on web. If you want something for a photo, you can click this photo. Film and movies already in here. I want to design a photo. Which size you want? Many size. But I want to create an A4 page. Click on A4 page. Background content is white. You can change it to black. You can change it to background color. You can change it to transparent. Transparent means no color. You can change it to custom. Custom means to select anything you want. I want to change it to, for example, white. Okay. Then you can create this page. Now this is the first file that I created in Photoshop. This is one file, untitled, because this file is not saved. You can also close this. You can also make it minimize. Click here and put it down. Now this is one file. You can also open another file, new, A4, HD landscape. Okay. This is your another file. You can add it here. Now you can see we have two files. We have two files. You can make it smaller and put it here, and also you can make it smaller. Now we have two files. To zoom in and zoom out the page, you have a tool. The tool name is Zoom Tool. Click here. Now it is plus. Zoom tool. It has options. Which option you want? Zoom out, minus. You can see minus. Zoom plus for zoom in. The shortcut in keyboard is Ctrl plus for zoom in, Ctrl minus for zoom out. And if you click on fit to screen, it is completely fit to screen. The shortcut is Ctrl 0, Ctrl 0. Ctrl minus to zoom out, Ctrl plus to zoom in, Ctrl 0 to fit to your image. You want to delete this, you want to also close this. Now you can again in here and I click on new and create a new file. If you want to open a photo or image, you can click on open. You can open all format of image, JPG, PNG, GIF, and etc. What file you want? I want to open this file and I can click on open. Now this is also a file. You can zoom it by Ctrl minus, Ctrl plus, Ctrl 0 to fit on screen. If you want to use tool, this is the tool. I want to zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Again, I want to zoom out, or I want to fit to screen, fill screen, fit screen. You also can click minus to zoom out, because you can here to zoom in. Fit screen, fit screen. So this was the most important things of new and also opening a file. Next day, inshallah, we will start our lesson from the first practical lesson of Photoshop, which is the move tool, selection tool, and etc. Yes, sir. Question?